Alright, here we go. Let's get the shield out. Let's see what kind of damage. Now we have a purpose build here, so of course we do more damage. We're on normal mode. I was farming some stuff. You guys see? Watch this. From here, I'm gonna jump back here. We're trying to get back here, and let me try to get someplace. You guys see what happens if we try to engage from a distance? You gotta basically lean and hold. Hey, we actually got the headshot there. That's kind of cool. Look at that. See, everything's going over him. We gotta bring it down. Look at this shit. See?
Communication relay offline.
We need to remove the virus from the control servers and restore comms.
What's up, agents? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's hanging in there. Being as safe as you need to be exiting out of this holiday season. That being said, I want to talk about what most likely in all aspects is the worst weapon in all of the Division 2, and still an awesome weapon nonetheless. Hey, do me a favor, agents. If you guys learn anything new or find this entertaining, smashing that like button would be greatly appreciated. Hopefully, by the end of this, I will have earned your guys' subscription. Best thing you can do to help my channel, share this video. If you guys have any comments, anything you do different, or anything you want to see in the future, please leave a comment down below. All right, let's get back into it. All right, agents. So, of course, we're going to be talking about the Sleigher SMG. This is a 250 RPM SMG that has 50 in the mag, takes no mods, looks cool as hell, and has probably the most bizarre firing pattern in the entire game. So the Sleigher basically is a snowball gun. It fires snowballs that has a trajectory that will hopefully land about where the reticle is. And basically, if any of you guys are familiar with crew serve weapons, generally, you know, you start firing and then you walk the bullet pattern, the bullet spray into the target, right? Very rarely, you know, unless you have, say, an M240 machine gun on an Abrams tank, you know, is it going to be dead on with the first shot? You fire and you walk it in. That's essentially how this weapon plays. You can't increase the accuracy or the stability at all since it takes no mods. You also can't increase the crit hit chance, crit hit damage at all. In fact, there's basically nothing. Here's the great thing. This thing is as good as it's going to get right out the box, and that, of course, is its advantage and disadvantage. Now, I decided to have damage to targets out of cover with this. The funny thing is damage to armor is not a terrible idea because you can kind of have that dropping in trajectory, hit guys that are in cover. So, you know, damage to armor, damage to targets out of cover, you know, to each his own. Let's talk about the pros of this weapon because we'll get more into it as we talk about it. So first of all, because of the slow rate of fire, this thing, of course, hits harder than any other SMG. With the standard sort of DPS build that you would expect endgame, you could expect to see about 190,000, maybe up to 200,000 damage per bullet from the Sleigher as your base damage. Now, it also comes with the Hidden Rock perk. This is a unique talent that only comes with the Sleigher SMG. And by striking a headshot, you'll confuse an enemy for up to 5 seconds. Remember that name targets and elites have a little more resistance. So at best case, you're gonna confuse them for 5 seconds. You then have a 20-second cooldown. Not a terrible perk, but it is a pretty long cooldown for only being able to confuse one enemy, unless you maybe double this up with the Creeping Death backpack or Eclipse Protocol, then you possibly may get a little more yardage out of it, but that duration is still very low, and none of your status effects will add to that duration. Now, the one other pro that it has is this thing just looks awesome, and it sparkles. So really, the best way that this thing functions is as a secondary weapon that you keep on your back that you don't use, and it just sits there and looks cool, and you have all those little, I don't know if it's supposed to be snowflakes or whatever coming off, but it does make your character look pretty cool if you're into that sort of thing. Now let's get into the cons of this weapon. Right out the gate, the slow rate of fire, of course, is a consequence. You know, it doesn't matter how high the damage numbers really are if you can't get enough bullets downrange and bullets that connect to do that damage. Now, what's one of the main things inhibiting this? Well, that trajectory. You got a trajectory that, unfortunately, the trajectory of the weapon and the reticle position do not line up. You guys will see many times in this background gameplay where I'm firing, my reticle is dead on a target, and none of those rocks are hitting. None of the snowballs, bullets, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they're not connecting at all. So it doesn't matter how many bullets you put down range. In fact, I'll go ahead and spoil it. At the end of this, our accuracy for this run in the countdown, 0. The funny thing is our crit hit chance, our real crit hit chance and our real crit hit damage is something like 58% real crit hit chance and 75% real crit hit damage. So the bullets we do hit hard. We just don't hit with a bunch. Now, what's one of the reasons why we don't hit with as many bullets as we want? Well, one of them is the slow travel time of the bullet. You're firing these bullets and it takes till next week. You basically have to have a travel itinerary just to get your bullets where you want them to get. And most of the guys can make travel plans to get out of the area by the time they get there. Not a great recipe for DPS. Now, if we could equip some mods on it to mitigate some of these issues, okay, that might help. You know, even if we could only put weapon handling on it, that would still... No, nothing. You get nothing. So, yeah, no mods. Now, I do mention the idea of the Hidden Rock perk is pretty cool. Here's the downside. You cannot extract this into your recal station, so you can't put it onto any other SMG that might actually get the benefits out of it. Let's say you keep it at that 5-second confuse time, and it does have a 20-second cooldown. That still sucks. But if you were able to stick it on, say, a Vector with the 1200 RPM, right? Well, maybe within those 5 seconds, you could burst an enemy down, so maybe then it'd be worth it. But no, you don't even have that as an option. So that's unfortunate, especially since, as far as I know, the O'Carroll right now, the Twilight Night perk, you can extract that in my station. I can't put it onto anything else. Nothing else will take the perk. So I don't know if it will fit onto one gun. I got to go through. In all honesty, I haven't looked at all the different marksman rifles I had to see if any of them will take that Twilight Night perk. But yeah. Anyway, back to the Sleigher. Yeah, so we can't do anything with that talent, and it sucks on the Sleigher. So that's a waste. And the real last con, and this goes back to the travel time of the bullet, the fact the enemies can leave, but even if the enemies don't move, the rest of your team has a great chance of killing the enemy before your bullets even make contact and do the damage to kill them anyway. So effectively, you'll have your teammates stealing kills without even trying, you know?
Doesn't even accidentally hit somebody. You see that? Look at this.
So overall, I think the Sleigher is a pretty cool weapon. I think everybody should have one. Hopefully you can find a good version before they do away with the loot goblin for this season. You know, it looks cool on your, as long as it's on your back and not in your hands. You know, don't let the big damage numbers fool you. You'll see, I mean, I think we're getting hits of 800,000 plus. I think there is even with some buffs, hits where I'm hitting per bullet 1 million plus damage, but it doesn't matter. The rate of fire is so slow, it's really not doing what you think it might be doing. So the only real thing that this weapon is for, I guess, other than to look cool, is if you really want a challenge. You know, maybe if you play with it enough, you can learn to use it, but it doesn't feel like the juice is worth the squeeze. I mean, I guess really the coolest thing about this weapon is in the actual name. This is a named item called the Sleigher that effectively can't slay jack shit, and superior and specialized, and I would even argue you might be if I had to put this thing up against, say, a green, what is that, uncommon, custom P416 G3, I'll bet you I would wipe the floor with the level 38 P416 in the countdown faster than I would wipe up the enemies using this level 40 maxed out Sleigher. You know, that's just what I think. Anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the Sleigher? Have you used it? Have you found any context in which it is a good weapon to have in your hands? Any place in this game at all, not counting normal mode, just walking around, fucking around. Of course, that can be a little fun to do. You know, let me know what you think. What, if I'm in any way missing an amazing feature of this weapon, please enlighten the community. All right, guys, on the way out of here, thank you so much if you've already smashed that like button. If not, what's wrong with you? Nah, I'm just playing. Do me a favor, you know, just let me know what you guys want to see in this next video. We're waiting for this next season to start up pretty soon. Hopefully, they'll be bringing some new, hopefully they'll bring a new gear set, maybe some new name stuff, maybe a new brand set, maybe some new exotics. I don't know. All right, agents, y'all be as safe as you need to be out there, and I will catch you all in the dark zone. Peace out, everybody. God, this Sleigher sucks. Alright, I'm gonna get up here and go check this. Is it a hitter? No.
Torres is on her way.
Dude, you know, you probably could have waited an extra second, dude. You didn't have to follow that thing, bro. Alright, we got other things to do. That's fine. Are they gonna let him die? Yeah. Got the dude who called it earlier.
An agent is no longer in your
Ah, yeah, well, dude, that's, yeah, bro. Fuck around, find out, dude.
An agent is
Terrible. Okay, here we go. So, let's see how we do. One armor piece destroyed. Damage to named enemies 21 million. That's fucking tiny. I did no percent of the team damage. So here's the interesting part though. My real crit percentage, 58%. My real crit damage is 75%. Problem is I just never hit anything, so it never really counted. The way that goes. Okay, so this does kick you out before too long. Alright, well that's the Sleigher. Just go over the stats real quick. So this is with the Sleigher in hand. You can see our base damage 190,000. We are 1 point away from the critical hit chance maximum, and we don't have any mods on this, so we're rocking pretty good. 156 crit hit damage, that of course can be higher. 105 headshot damage is not bad. We got 8% damage to armor. I went for damage to targets out of cover instead of damage to armor on the SMG, just because of the playstyle we're going to be dealing with. And you guys can see this is all based off of us running the sharpshooter. So that's going to help. All right.